Good afternoon. The theme I chose for this assignment is the Abrahamic Covenant and idolatry. Let's break them down into two separate parts. So you ask, what is the Abrahamic Covenant? Is a covenant or promise that Yahweh said to Abram that will be fully fulfilled in the New Testament. Now, I'm not discrediting it or not recognizing that it was first seen in the Old Testament, but I fast forward to Hebrews 6:13 through 15. And we learn that the whole Bible is the big picture, so I have to connect it. Now back to Hebrews. This is where God is confirming the oath of the promises. So Abram, because that was his name before it was Abraham, and that will later change in Genesis chapter 15. So the covenant is first made in Genesis 12, where it says, "The Lord had said to Abram, Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." And that is found in chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. This promise, this was a promise that was made from the beginning. And I referenced the beginning in Genesis 1 28 when I say that because it's basically God telling Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply. The promises to Abraham are continually shown throughout the Old Testament. In chapter 12 is where Abraham was in the land of Canaan, is where the Lord said he will give this land to his offspring. Going forward to Genesis chapter 15, Abraham has a vision, and he's asking the Lord when his offspring will come that God promised him so he can give his inheritance to. The Lord lets Abraham know that it is coming soon. And this just shows a test of faith for someone to know that Yahweh will fulfill his promises. Later, Abraham got his blessing with his son Isaac. This is also when Abraham was circumcised, because God made this be the promises to him to receive continuous blessings. Let's look at where you can find the Abrahamic covenant. The first time we see it is in Genesis chapter 12, as I have said before. Then you can find it again in Genesis chapter 15 and 17. Not only that, you see it pop up in various places throughout the Old Testament. Isaiah 52:10 reads, "The Lord will lay bare his holy arm in the sight of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth will see the salvation of our God." Right, the author of our textbook states that the Abrahamic covenant is being shown to us here again. The covenant is important in its own right because it sets the bar for the promise to be fulfilled. It's part of the storyline that we see unfolding in the Old Testament. Look at Genesis 17:6, where it says, "I will make you fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you." The covenant speaks for itself, something between man and God. A covenant is a binding agreement. And like in Hebrews, it says, God is not capable of lying. Now, idolatry is the second theme I'm talking about in this session for assignment. And idolatry is worshiping false gods. This is a negative theme of the Old Testament storyline. It is sin. It is also recurring throughout the Old Testament. Idolatry is part of the laws that God gave us to obey. You can find the laws in Exodus, the second book of the Bible, chapter 20, verses 3 through 6. It appears again in Leviticus 19:4, and it reads, "Do not turn to idols or make metal gods for yourself. I am the Lord your God." The Israelites were especially guilty of this and felt God turned his back on them. Idolatry is also found in Jeremiah 44, but I chose verses 3, 5, and 8, and 23 as important ones to focus on. And we read about it again in Isaiah chapter 44, and that's the whole chapter where you see idolatry present. And then idolatry comes again in the story about the image of gold in the book of Daniel, chapter 3. Now, this is important in its own right because, first off, it's showing respect and love to Yahweh. God does not have a visible form, so anything, person, place, anything made to resemble Yahweh is a misrepresentation, and that is a slap in the face to him. And it is sin. Now, if we think about what the world is experiencing recently, we can use a perfect example of what not to do. Former President Trump had an image of gold made of him and had people worship it. I don't know the exact full story on it all, but the information I have is enough. Um, I can't help but add to my assignment because I live in this world and it's a part of what Yahweh told us not to do. I never thought I would see the day where modern idolatry existed and so many people agree with it. This opens the door for so many conversations and ministering to people. We can help save souls by being the light in this situation and being the people we are called to be. It's an Old Testament law, and of course, we're not to do away with it, and it is a must to obey God's law. Um, yes, it's a must to obey God's law. All of my Bible referencing comes from the New International Version. Thank you for listening, and God bless.